And hello and welcome so much to the official NaNoWriMo. I'm so excited to be here doing this with you today. I can't believe it, actually. My name is Diane Morrison. I'm also known as Sable on the Nano website. I'm one of the MLs from the Okanagan region in BC, Canada. And I'm an author. There's some of my books over there. Nano is why. So I'm so pleased to be able to be doing this today to give back a little to this wonderful community that has made a dream possible for me. So, and hello everyone, there's so many people. I stream writing on Twitch, but I'm not used to this active of a chat, so bear with me as I try to keep up with everyone. Yeah, gosh, I'm an author points to books behind me as a goal, says Askill 11. You can do it. You can do it. And, one word at a time, one day at a time, that is how you do it, right? So, and that is what we're here for. Yeah, how is Nano going for me this year, asked Tammy. It's, you know what, actually an amazing Nano for me this year. I'm probably going to cross 40K today, and that is a huge number for me. I'm way ahead of schedule. One of the reasons why is that this year, me and a bunch of other streamers from a group called the Anvilite Streamer Corps, we're kind of a fan group that streams World Anvil content, organized a game called the Game of Tomes. It's a bit like the Nano House Cup, organized by Elena May, if you've ever played that on Twitter, except that it lasts all month, and there's eliminations every 5 days. So actually, I was told that I could talk about anything that was writing related, so I will post a link to you in the chat just in case anybody can play. You're welcome to join in or leave at any time, and we're having a lot of fun. Hi from Arizona. Hi from Ohio. What is British Columbia like? Asks SCon. It's kind of rainy and sort of snowy right now. It's a little early for the snow, but that's okay. Yeah, don't mind that at all. Hello from Brazil. Excellent. Hi from Vienna. Yes, that's one of the beautiful things. Oh, hello from Yorkshire. It's your first Nano. Oh, congratulations, Peter. What do you think so far? Because I'm an addict. I did my first Nano 10 years ago. I started with a fan fiction book, and I got into the habit of writing after that, and I've kind of made it a career. So, yeah, Pennsylvania, Germany. Oh, hey, another Canadian from Alberta, Big G99, Maple Pride. All right, that's great. Hi from the Netherlands. Oh, another one from Yorkshire. That's great. The Czech Republic. That is so cool. Oh my God, I'm doing fanfic, says SCon. You know what? There are a lot of science fiction and fantasy writers out there who started with fanfic. I'm also linked into the SIFWA community. That's the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America. And a lot of authors you've heard of started with fanfic, so don't let anybody disparage that. I know that there's a trend to kind of go fanfic, but yeah, you just never mind them, okay? Right, so hi from California, from Washington. Oh, another first-time nanoer. That's great. Sabina Keen, I hope I got that right. Helped me get back to writing finally, and you're from Ireland. Well, that's great. Yeah, me too, right? Because you get into a habit of doing writing every day, and then you devote your energy and your time to it, and then you're like, I got 50,000 words. I got to do something with this. So that's amazing. Mia Carrington, Mia Kerrigan lived in Canada until COVID. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh, Puffy Book says it's windy, stormy here in Manchester. I wish I could keep up with everybody. I'm just not used to this much conversation. I'm doing my best. Fanfic is great, says Sushi Must Write. I know Sushi. Hi, Sushi. Good to see you. You already have the sandbox laid out for you. Exactly, right? You kind of have an idea of where to start, where you're going. That's so great. Yeah. Hello from Pennsylvania, Glasgow, Scotland. Yes, this is so cool. First time Nano from Washington State for Anna Marie Rockstrom. Welcome to the craziness. Yeah, sunny here in southwestern Ontario. Must be nice. I'm bitterly jealous. Washington, D.C., Utah, USA. Yeah, Pacific Northwest. Ah, my neighbor. Cool. Nice to meet you, Allison. Can you do fanfic of a serial killer? Lots of people have. Um, um, I don't see why not. Horror is a perfectly legitimate genre. You ever read Michael Slade? They're two lawyers and a judge from Vancouver, or two lawyers and a cop, and they write about serial killers with details from real life cases that they've kind of meshed together and exaggerated, so it isn't anything in particular. But yeah, why not? You know, uh, Fake Fish. I like that. I like the handle. Says, I nearly did a fanfic, but after thinking of an idea, I ended up writing my own story. Yes, that's awesome. And is anyone else doing anything like Otome Isakai? I hope I pronounced that right. My anime knowledge is old and out of date. So, yeah, I'm actually currently working on the fanfic stuff that I started with in my first Nano and rewriting it as its own thing. So that is what I'm working on this year, the third book in that series. So I think I'd probably better get like things rolling here because we're at 5 after. I'm so glad to see so many people all over the world doing so many different things. That's amazing. It's cool. The Sunshine State. Is it sunshiny right now in Florida? That would be cool. That's Aria Reads. Yeah, what's up with fan fiction about real people? Isn't that an invasion of their personal bubble? Oh, hey, the undead hero is here. Hi, Barbarossa. Good to see you. Awesome. Yes. Um, yeah, there are some ethical issues with that, maybe, but the problem is when you're a public figure, you kind of accept that. I mean, the crown is a thing, right? So, yeah. Oh, Chris is here. Hi, Chrysalia. Chris is one of the other organizers for the Game of Tones. So check out her channel on Twitch. I think I'm going to look at my stuff, or their channel on Twitch. I'm so sorry, Chris. I'm terrible with that. Right. So then, if you have never done a virtual write-in before, and I assume that most of you have, right? Basically how it works is that I'm going to offer a prompt and you can choose to use it, whether or not, you don't have to. It's just meant to help inspire. If you're working on what you're working on, that's totally cool. And then we'll give you a timed period in which to write. We'll start with a small one, 5 minutes. We'll expand them as the hour goes on, and just write what you can in that time. When we're done, report any word counts, take a break. You could also ignore me completely and just keep writing through the whole broadcast. That's totally fine too. And yeah, and hopefully I'll give you some ideas, right? So they suggested that we start with a theme. And I figured that since I'm part of the World Anvil community and, whatnot, that I would do world building as a theme today. So I have some thoughts about world building. So my first suggestion for a prompt, we're going to do a little 5-minute warm-up on this. When you're trying to describe something, it can become really tempting to put a bunch of details in and kind of overwhelm your reader. And this can slow down the pace of the story as well. So what is often suggested, Donald Mass wrote this in his book, How to Write a Breakout Novel. And for those who don't know, Donald Mass is the head of one of the, like a large literary agency, and they tend to represent a lot of science fiction and fantasy writers, and that's how I know who they are, right? They say, stick with 3 details that kind of embody what it is you're trying to describe. So my first prompt is describe a room using only 3 important details to capture what the room or a character in the room is all about. And I'll get that started here. We're going to use my phone today, and I'm going to be tip-tapping on my keyboard here. So, and if you're ready, shout out Holly, she's 9, says Layla Oswin. Well, hi, Holly, and welcome. And I'm so pleased. I was 10 when I figured out I wanted to be a writer. That is awesome. Good for you. You can do it. You can do it. And I'm glad you're here. That is amazing. All right. If everybody's ready, let's get started. 5 minutes on the clock. Got about a minute left. right, next time. If you like, let us know how you did. And feel free to share some excerpts in the chat, guys. I think I got, let's see here. I just kind of got started, really. 5 minutes or, just a warm up. So I did 97. All right, and I see that I've missed some conversation. Okay, so Aria Reads is also 9. Well, woot and welcome. That's awesome. Lila's 15. Wow. Just I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Okay, that is awesome. Okay, SCon has a question. I am having trouble understanding how to do a sprint on a phone without having to switch between NaNoWriMo and here. Please help. Okay, so you don't actually have to be on the NaNoWriMo site in order to do the sprint. You just have to be using whatever writing software you're using on your phone, right? I have used Word and Dropbox is what I've often done, or you can use the little notebook thing on most phones have as an app and like copy it back into your main document later. Or if you happen to be on World Anvil or something that's online like that, you can use manuscripts and you can switch between browser windows or your YouTube app and a browser window. As to how to switch back and forth, other than that, I don't really know your phone, so I can't really answer the question. But don't worry about keeping track of the time. I can do that, right? So you just write. Worry about that. So, yeah, another option is, I suppose, you could always, I think YouTube has the same option as Twitch where you can put it on audio and run it in the background in the settings, and then you don't have to pay attention to the video and you can concentrate on your story. So I hope some of that was helpful. Have I seen the Emerald Lake? No, I have not. I have not seen the Emerald Lake. I would love to. All right, look at all these word counts. 53 is great. Nothing wrong with 53. Right? 92 from Fake Fish, 143 from Leah. That's amazing. Jennifer Rutherford got 151. That's awesome. Sherry Cherrickson got 93. Amabel says one of my students got 116, 127. Oh, about 200 from Karagye. That's amazing. 187 from AV. That's impressive. Wow, look at all these great counts, guys. 231 from Mia Kerrigan. I can't even. That's amazing. I just admire. I am not a fast writer. I am a persistent writer, right? So I just keep at it. It takes me hours to do some of what Chrysalia, who I shouted out there, is a fast writer. They have already finished Nano once. They're I think twice now, actually, twice. They've done more than 100,000 words. I think it was something like 127,000 this year so far. And I'm just I can't. So, but I keep at it and the books get written. So, Excerpt from student. She looked up and saw that furry brown face, pink wet nose, grinning mouth. Oh, I just want to pat it on the snoot now. That's great. Hi, I'm here now, says Cade Fade. Welcome. Oh, happy birthday to Resi Galvin. Shout out to me and, okay, so SCon, shout out, and Big G99. Hi, awesome. Nice to meet you. Yeah. By the way, I found World Anvil, says Anne-Marie. I found it about a month ago. I got myself World Anvil last year as a present for finishing Nano in a personal record time. And yeah, I love it. I've been looking for it my whole life. It's a world building software for those who aren't familiar. Yeah. What's my advice on using apps like Scrivener's? I can't help you there, I'm afraid, but maybe somebody else in the chat can, because I've never actually used Scrivener. So, I got no information. Oh my God, you guys are 11? That's why I'm supposed to shout you out. Okay, so Big G99 and SCon are 11. Good gods, that's awesome. Oh my God, I just met my word goal, and I'm done with my book, says Kate Fade. Yeah, all right. Good for you. Congratulations. That's awesome. I'm so glad it happened here. That's so we can celebrate with you. That's amazing. Nano buddy. Yeah, you guys should totally be nano buddies. You know, young writers need to support each other. The energy Luminous had conserved into the gauntlets from taking hits from Barrett burst instantly. Bam! All right. Okay. I'm there. I'm there. I'm there. Yeah. Musical Maggie says, I kind of like the phrasing of, well, Lana pulls on a pair of gloves and cleans up all the detritus of saving Ren's life. Yuck. That sounds like a very not pleasant job. I write war scenes. Yeah, my visuals, like, yeah, not I'm like, ooh. Yes, Chrysalia, it's their first Nano one, and they finished their first book within the first week of Nano. I was like, oh my God. Okay, good. We've got some advice for Scrivener from Kate Lyons. She says, for Scrivener, use the split screen function to have your notes up while you work. There you go. That makes sense. Allison Opson Clement says, I use Scrivener and I love it. You get a 20% discount on the purchase just for participating in Nano and 50% if you win. It has a steep learning curve, but totally customizable by after November. Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense and cool. Yeah, lots of people I know use Scrivener. They love it, you know. So, I just never have. I'm not saying that it, I'm sure it's awesome. So, because the people who use it love it. Yes. How did Chris do that? Chris, Game of Toads, friendly competition between writers. So we're like, oh, we don't want the other house to get too far ahead. We're all going to write like, insane. So that's part of what we're doing. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that too. Krogier, I hope I had it right the first time. Krogier says, I think you can try Scrivener out for free for 30 days. So just try it and see if it works for you. Yeah. Oh, hey, is DM Stretch in the chat? Hello. Good to see you. Yes, you are here. Yeah, the first sprint. We're going to do another one here. Yeah, Luana Araceli says, it's difficult when you want to participate in the Nano, but do not have a computer and need to do the process in pen and paper mode. Have any advice? Just keep writing on and, count your words. Don't count them after every sprint. Like I would count them up after we're closing up for the day and put them on the site then, maybe, because it can take a long time. And just keep at it, right? And then when you're done, you have to verify. Find some ipsum lorem somewhere and put it in, because the Nano verification thing does not care. It just counts the words that you put in. And lots of people write on pen and paper and do that. Lots of people also do NaNoWriMo goals where they do editing and they count part of the editing towards as if they were writing a draft, and then they use a bunch of words, ipsum lorem kind of thing, and put it in the verifier as well. Totally fine. Yeah. I am not used to change and have been using words since forever, but all these comments are making me reconsider. Well, try other things is my advice. You never know when you're going to be happy. I used Word for years. Now I'm using the manuscripts function in World Anvil. I've never been happier. So, do you want me to show your email address there, Ruth? We usually try to prevent people from doxing themselves. I will totally show it if you feel comfortable with that, so that the person who is looking for a laptop can connect with you. Yeah, there's another good suggestion. If it's taking a long time to count up your words on paper, you can just figure out your average number of words per line from your first pages and just count lines. Yeah. Boo. Wanda Vaughn says, my boss came in and now my nice empty desk has things to do. Can't write right now. Oh, I sympathize. Of course, I have there's a reason why there's a, novel incognito badge on the site. I'm just saying. I'm a bad influence. Have I missed anything? Let's see, Ruth. Did Ruth respond to me about sharing their email address? Or you can pass along to the person who mentioned they need a laptop. Okay, who mentioned they needed a laptop? Because I really don't want to, like, expose your stuff. So I'll copy the email address and message anyway so that I have it. I'll just put it in my manuscript for now so that I have it, and I'll see if I can pass that on. So yeah, tag me, tag NaNoWriMo, and in the chat if you're the person that was looking for a laptop. Give me the email address via nano names. Okay, and that's AV, you were the one looking? Okay. What's your nano name? I'm sorry, I want to help, but so Bonnie Shao is a published author, but I've been told we should not allow personal promo stuff in the chat. So I will say, please go and check out Bonnie's books if you're interested. I'm not going to advertise for Bonnie though, and I sympathize as a writer. I totally get, as an author trying to find places to advertise, or let people know. My nano name is Belladonna Took. Okay, I will take that. And we will work that out. And who is the person who wanted the laptop? Was it AV? What is AV's nano name? Tag me and let me know. Was that you? Like, seriously, tag me. Use the @ and because I can't tell if people are responding. Okay, Aria Reads, was that? Or are people just letting each other know their names now? I don't know. So yeah, tag me if you're the one who wanted the laptop. I'll try to see you get the info. In the meantime, let's move on to the next prompt. So briefly, I guess I should probably explain world building for those of you who are unfamiliar. Okay, I got AV, I got your message. Good job. All right, we can do that now. I will try to find a way to connect you. Okay, perfect. Now, what is the prompt? Okay, well, first I'm going to talk a little bit about what world building is, just briefly, right? It's where you try to create kind of an image and a feel and the rules of your world. And this applies no matter what genre you're writing. If you're writing science fiction and fantasy, it's a little bit more complicated because it's not necessarily Earth. If it is Earth, maybe there's werewolves on this Earth, and you kind of have to lay out the ground rules of how things work. If there's magic, magic will have its own rules about how it works. If there are advanced technologies, like say we have faster than light travel, well, that's going to change the whole way society works. So all of these things kind of have to be established for the reader. And but even if you're writing a detective novel, right, people need to kind of get a feel for the area you're writing in. Like, say it's a detective novel that takes place in Brooklyn, right? So I'm not from Brooklyn, right? And maybe your Brooklyn is a particularly dark Brooklyn. So you have to show that to me and give me a feel about how your Brooklyn neighborhood works where this novel takes place. And it's generally ill-advised by editors to use what they call infodumps, which I'm terrible at. And infodumps are where you just explain everything to the reader like they're reading a textbook. And that's not what people are at prose for. So you kind of got to trick them into figuring out these things and, slip it in to the action, and the character's thoughts and feelings is usually the best way to do that, right? So my prompt's related to trying to do that. Aria Reed says that mine is dystopian, fantasy, science fiction, and also kind of fan fiction of Harry Potter. That sounds great. That sounds really cool. Oh, that's neat. Okay, imagine it. Imaginos Des Desdenova. Sorry, I'm an idiot today. Says I'm writing in the Mad Max Headroom universe, in the Max Headroom universe, where there are no cell phones and TV is control of the world. So kind of an '80s cyberpunk kind of deal. That's cool. That's very cool. I could totally like that. Mine is mystery and adventure, says Big G99. That's great. That's cool. Holly says, my story is a love story. Love stories are awesome. Love stories are the oldest stories, and they're the coolest. What's the prompt? And says S. Kimber. All right, I'll get on with it. Okay. Prompt number 2. There was about a 10-minute writing period. Food is a great way to introduce your world building. What might it tell us about your world's climate, culture, history, wealth, holidays and traditions, plants and animals, leisure activities? Describe a meal, considering these factors, to tell us about more than just what the characters are eating. So did that make sense? Describe a meal to tell us about your world, not just what the characters are eating. Okay, and we're going to do a 10-minute sprint. Thank you, Curiously Christy. I'm glad you liked it. I really wanted to, you know, I wanted to do some good here, so I thought about it. So, all right, and let's go. Got about 5 minutes left. right, that's time. How did everyone do? Anybody want to share an excerpt? Let's see here. How did I do? That's a good question. You know, I actually did manage to work the prompt into what I was writing, which I didn't think I would, because currently the protagonist is in a rather, let's just say, an aggressive jail. But I figured out how to do food. I had an idea. So basically it's being kind of dangled in front of him as incentive to talk. So, so 186 for me. Oh, wow, look at this. Some people are amazing. Look at this stuff. Oh, my God. We have 3,400. That's great. 394. Yeah, 376, 200. I'm done with my books. I'm just chilling here, says Cade Fade. That's cool. We're happy to have your company. I would have said food fight in jail or a food war. Yeah, he's in solitary, though, so that's not going to happen. But, oh. Ji Young shook his head. He didn't really want to speak up. None of them looked right or seemed right in his eyes. His mind was still on Lana, her face, her curves. Distracted. I can groove with that. I saw someone who did like 400. There we go. 400 words from Mary Jo Glenn. 491 from Adora 2008. It's good stuff. And somebody had like 500. I'm certain I saw that in the chat. There we go. 513 from Rocket Joe 86. Good job, guys. You heard a voice in Sable's background. Yeah, I use my webcam mic because it's actually a better quality mic than this. I'm just kind of monitoring with this, right? Other things. So, yeah, right. So you'll hear probably my hubby in the background. So, in the other room. Lee Curry says, "Oh wow, it's that Sable I know from Twitch." Well, hi Lee, good to see you. Yes, they let me on the air, and they have no idea what they've done because the monster has been created. But I'm having a good time. It's great. So I really appreciate it actually because I'm having a lot of fun. I'm sorry. Yes, we were in a sprint, and I didn't get a chance to say anything. Who sneezed? The person in the background. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Can I please write the full prompt in the chat? Okay, next time I will. I've never done one of these before, so I will keep that in mind for the future. Yeah. I'm at a point where all the prompts and stuff I sort of already did for my current nano project says the Shadow's Lair, but I wrote it down for the next project. That's fair. Yeah. Yeah, that's right, Sushi. Maybe your story is going to enhance the YA world, says Tanya V. Oh, that sounds like fun. Yukimiko 0001 says, I write the second book, or I'm writing the second book of my fantasy series where two worlds collide. One in the far, far future and one far, far in the Middle Ages. That sounds great. I love that kind of stuff. I read a book by Timothy Zahn that was like that, like ages ago. We had a planet that had 3 alternate dimensions all kind of together, and he called it Triplet. Pretty interesting concept. This is not saying don't do it just because somebody else has done it. Everybody's got their own take, and there's no such thing as a totally original story anymore, but there's your original story. Nobody else can write it with your voice, right? So you totally do it. Oh, somebody's writing superhero fiction. That's amazing. I love superhero fiction. Okay. I'm not in my writing frame of mind today, says IK. I sympathize. Sometimes hanging out with other people who are working on writing when you're not in that frame of mind can still be helpful. Eventually you get there. Okay, so this has been what my past 3 days is like. FemKB says, I didn't do great. I was too tired to write. I got distracted. So 11 words. I've been just slogging it. over the past few days. I've been so tired and so distracted, and it just seems to take forever. And I'm also at a part, for me, pacing is really difficult. It's one of the most difficult things I have with prose writing. So I've got 3 different things going on, and I'm building towards the major climax of my book. But I'm like, this close, but I've got 3 different things, and I've got to try to figure out how to cut from one to the other to the third. And I kind of need to do that as I'm writing in my initial draft. I know lots of people do it later, but for me, it kind of gives me a sense of the flow of how the story is going to go. And I've just been stuck because I find it so difficult, right? But I found it. As you can hear, I've been tip-tapping away pretty good, so I'm happy with it. Oh, here we go. Lindsay says, Blair picked an apple out of the fridge and held it close to her chest. She could feel the thick layer of wax on its skin. It reminded her of the skin on the dead little girl's arm. Wow, that is some good world building. I want to know more about what is going on with the dead little girl. That's like, phew, that kind of gives me the shudders. That's great. Good for you. Oh, wow. Have I read Reverie by Ryan LaSala? I would love it. I'll put that information down for me to remember later. And thank you, Musical Maggie, for the recommendation. I'll check it out sometime because I have not. So we will try that. Oh, Adora says, if you need help on one of your co-ML, Sable. Woot, ML Pride, that's great. Okay, I will keep that in mind. Thank you. In that case, if you could do me the favor of when you hear the prompt, type it in the chat and make sure people see it. That would be great, because then we can keep up. So mornings consisted of scrambled eggs and juice, allergic to milk and citrus, so apple juice it was. I hate apple juice. I also hate scrambled eggs. AV is character is not having a good day there. Aria reads, when she woke up, she had a weird feeling, a sudden obsession, a sudden wanting for scorpion cheesecake. Scorpion cheesecake. Okay, this is like post-apocalyptic world, maybe. She couldn't hide the feelings from her grandpa. She burst in the kitchen and thought, cheesecake. And now I know that your people are telepathic too. That's very interesting. I want to read your book now. Tell me more. That's great. That is like totally my thing. All right. The bog wizard. Luminous felt her heart drop to her stomach as she swallowed. She almost forgot. She owed him 400 boon she didn't have. Luminous's inner panic didn't go unnoticed by Barrett, who picked up her panic with his nose. She kept eating her eggs, looking down. Interesting. Ha! Okay. Ms. Mango Meru, right? She carefully took a bite out of the Scotch bonnet pepper bottom. As she bit into the fruit, she could feel the juice on her tongue and the heat dispersed in her mouth. Sounds like whoever is eating the Scotch bonnet pie or whatever it is there would like my orcs in my world. They like spicy food. So that is awesome. I try writing a chapter a day instead of the 50K, says the Bob. So he's NaNoWriMoing it. That's great. Outline for 30 chapters. That is amazing. J Angel has to go. Enjoy writing, everyone. We'll be missed, but we're only supposed to be here for another 10 minutes anyway. So I guess I better get on with the last prompt, right? Okay. So, yes. All right. So, describe a place where you buy things in your world. So, like a market, a bazaar, or a shopping mall. Except, try to use every one of the 4 senses when you think of taste and smell as being the same sense. So something you see, something you hear, something you feel, and something you smell, right? If your world has a 6th sense, like psychic powers, spidey sense, or something exotic, right, like echolocation, feel free to add those in as well, right? And we're going to go for 10 minutes. That's what we're going to do. And I am going to put this in the chat so that people can check it out, because it is long. But there it is. That's the prompt. But basically, the idea is use all of your senses to describe. Oh, no, All right, so it's too long. I have to edit it. We'll cut it down. Is that enough? No. All right, I have to cut it down. Apparently you can't have more than like 200 letters or something. So there we go. There's a truncated version of the prompt. If you use all of your senses, then your world building becomes more real to your readers. If you can smell it and feel it and taste it, then it has a more visceral quality, right? I get pretty good reviews for my world building. This is, I think, the thing that I do that a lot of people don't. So maybe that'll help as well if people are working on that aspect of their craft. And let's get started. I think we've only got like 10 minutes left. So I think we'll just do those 10 minutes. So you probably won't get the whole thing done. You probably just get it begun. And we're off. About 3 minutes left. And that's time. All right. Well, I didn't do nearly as well on this sprint because I had to change scenes. So let's see here. But I'm happy with it. I think. Looked like there was a lot of good conversation back in the chat. I will try to cover as much of it as I can before we have to go, but we're already a couple minutes over time. So, and I'll just keep yapping forever if I'm given the opportunity. So total 137 for me for that particular sprint. Let's see here. I have to do something else here quickly. Here. All right. It's because I'm keeping track of things separately on that computer. So, all right. What do we got? I am really interested in reading what people wrote because apparently people wrote a lot of good stuff. Bless you to whoever ceased. Yeah, that had me probably. Jennifer Rutherford says, Adam skipped his way down the cobbled footpath leading to the main area of town. Okay, we got visual. He took a deep breath and took note of all the different smells in town, such as the bread being baked to the fishes being sliced. Yeah, that's a blend. He looked around to pinpoint all the shops. His favorite, though, was the smell of the baker who was in the middle of baking a pie. That's great. That's awesome. Aria Reed says when she looked around the market, she thought, I need oranges, only oranges, just oranges. She imagined the orange of the orange, the tangy taste, and the citrusy smell. Then a bag of oranges appeared. Cool. Magic shopping. I would love that. Give me that power. That sounds great. IK has a good suggestion. Maybe next time try putting the prompts in the description box. You don't need to worry during the stream. I should have thought of that because NaNoWriMo typically do that. So yes, I'll remember that for next time. And I think I can put them in the video description after video is done processing. So I'll do that. Thanks. Yeah, I really like these prompts. I'm glad you do. Thank you. I hope they're helpful. Yeah, I will go back later and write them down for me. Okay. Yes, hello, Lindia Sue. You did come in the middle of a writing sprint. I'm pretty sure I'm only supposed to be here for an hour. So I probably have to wrap up right quick. But yeah. Imagiano says, Buzzardo flew onward over the darkened and polluted ground, the scent of burning trash soon overpowering the aroma of freshly cooked rat. Nummy! Crap sack post-apocalypse world, huh? Okay, I can get behind that. Shaali Manda says the aroma of steamed buns wafted through the marketplace. Okay, I'm hungry now. A line of children ran past Mai, giggling, licorice sticks dangling from their mouths, and she stumbled, almost stepping in a purple puddle. Purple puddle, that's intriguing. Okay, I like that. That is very well done. Well done. Holly says, I have writer's block, help. I like Layla's advice. Put your character in a horrible situation. That's always a good way to get rid of writer's block, generally. Advice from Lois McMaster Bujold, who is one of my favorite writers. She says, think about what is the most horrible thing that could possibly happen to this guy? And then make it happen. Yeah, I think that's very good advice. Natasha White says, the sound of hyperactive people rang in my ears, but I pushed myself through the crowds of people. The sickly sweet smell of spices and preserves caught my attention, distracting me. That seems contradictory, but I like it. Were you intending it to be kind of contradictory? Sickly sweet implies, that I'd rather have nothing to do with that, but distracted implies it gets your attention. So I'm not sure there. It's interesting. Yeah, have your adult character visit their childhood home in a village that's in ruins. It's a good one, too. Yeah, close your eyes and dream or go for a walk if you can and smell and hear and see the things around you. Yeah, this is how you practice that. By the way, getting a sense of using all of your senses to describe things, right? Oh, geez. Hi, Moonflower. It's good to see you. And you come kind of at the end because I only am on for an hour. So you guys did so great. Look at these word counts. Some people are like astonishing. 900 words from Aria Reads. Good God almighty. Okay, you guys are awesome. 546 from Adora. I wish I could just churn out words like that. Holy cow, you guys are so good. 786 words. Wow. That is great. Holly, Google prompts for your type of story and do a sprint and make it worse. Yes, and make it worse. Yes. Okay. My character's always in bad situations and he's already had the worst thing happen, says Jason. So now pick up the pieces of his life and figure out how he's going to adapt to the new normal. Ari Reed says, also not related to the prompt, but when she got home, and it skipped in chat, it was 2:59, and she just bounded through the door when she heard the doorbell ring. She was trembling from excitement. Interesting. She just came in and someone followed her that closely. DM Stretch says, interesting plot hook I just thought of. You were getting attacked, although you could probably fight them off. Someone comes along and kills them, but then demands money for doing so. What do you do? Oh, that's interesting. After much tugging, she managed to pull one of the carts away from the others, says Lynn. The wheel made an annoying squeaky noise. She put it aside and took another one. This one ran smoothly and quietly. That's great. Okay, wow. Oh, 780 words for Isaac Oliver. Good job, Bob. Finished a chapter. Excellent. Big G99 did 897. I wish. That is amazing. Okay, so we're like 10 minutes over time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a great time. I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. If you're looking for me around the internet, I have a Twitch channel. I will put the link in the chat so that you can come check me out, because I live stream writing and writing sprints on my channel. I am going to be live actually in about an hour to do my usual Wednesday program, which is called Diane Writes. And I also do one on Sundays at 1 to 4 Pacific as well, called Sable's World Forge, where I talk about world building, and I do a lot of stuff with World Anvil. There's a lot of other things on there. My husband also streams on the channel. We do RPG gaming content. We do stuff about world building. We sometimes interview other authors, and we'd love to see you. And if you're interested on finding me on other platforms, you can find everything that I have done in some way, a connection to something, at my website, which is right there. All right, this was great, and I hope I'll get an opportunity to do this again. If I don't see you before, happy Nano to you. Right on. Have a great day, everyone.